Should we start with a joke?
Yeah.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Not my wife.
Wow, that looks really cool.
Great, that neon sign looks so cool.
Is that a studio space for us?
It is. All of that for us.
For us? Wow.
Welcome to this week's episode of Two and a Half Friends with me, Dan Lawrence, newly single.
Not by choice.
So it doesn't matter.
I'm Jono, and he's irrelevant.
That's it. We're going to reshoot this. That's...
Probably not Rocky. No.
It's Ricky.
Should we start by talking about the video that I posted on Facebook?
I think you need to start with a hello of some degree. It might not be an introduction, but...
Right, well hang on, you haven't told me that I have to do an introduction, so I don't know. You haven't said you need to do an introduction. So
Also, you're unemployed. Why have you not been thinking of this? We've both been at work.
I'll be honest, I've got bigger fucking fish to fry, mate.
Well,
I mean, you know that, I've been crying down the phone to you every evening, so...
I've been too busy to answer.
yeah.
I didn't call you Ricky, like, which leads us on to why we've got Two and a Half Friends. Like, why are you here? We're making a podcast.
We are.
We'll talk about that. We're making a podcast because, I don't know if I mentioned it, but my wife left me. So I need to...
Yeah, once or twice.
Yeah, I need to pay the bills now. No, we've had a podcast in the works for, what, a year?
Easily, yeah.
Easily a year, but we're all just lazy.
Busy.
Busy.
Definitely. Busy's a better word than lazy.
I've not been busy. I've not been busy, to be honest.
I mean, every time you've rung me crying, you've been in your pants. So.
Yeah, that's for a different reason. I told you this. Crying about that. So we've been talking about making a podcast for probably a year, and I'm in a situation now where I think I've needed to focus my mind on something that's not my own car crash of a life right now, to be honest. So this has been a bit fast-tracked, which is why you might notice that we're in my garage. I have put some lights up though, so it's like, is it a garage or is it a professional studio? It's impossible to tell.
Is it? I think like industrial chic.
Chic.
Some people pay for
or
this.
a library. It could also be a library.
I've just put some books out.
Also, just to let you know, if it is a library, you owe me about £38,000 in late charges for the books that I lent you, probably in
I don't think you lent them to
2006.
me. I'm sure you gave them to me, but I was just...
Well, okay, all right.
I'm surprised somebody that works in social media can read.
What? You're attacking everyone in social media?
That's not.
Just coming out hot. Straight away.
Straight away.
A podcast has not even had one episode out.
Also, if you can read, could you read the title of that third book in from the left?
Third from the left.
What's that, Steve and me?
Yeah.
Dan's.
No mention of Ricky.
Yeah. So.
And that brings us on to why this is Two
you're
and a Half Friends.
5.
This is called, so the podcast is called Two and a Half Friends. Well, Ricky, you tell the story of why it's called Two and a Half Friends.
Yeah, so basically these two guys have been best friends for how many years now?
15.
Yeah, and I think that the fact that you two are best friends and I'm not as best of a friend, I think is probably the best way to put it.
I put it, you're fairly a friend,
yeah,
is the way I would describe it, but you do you.
Stalker, I probably would have said.
Yeah, you hang around.
If we're gonna put a
I've been about
tag on it.
I've been about, and I think that's mainly just a matter of timing. Like if I was there from day one, was it Deal? You was in the office?
Well, a real friend would know. So
okay, you got me there. But if I was in Deal at the same time, we would be like the Three Musketeers, and it would be called just Three Friends, which has a less of a ring to it.
Also, I'd argue, but by this point, we would have grown sick of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would still be called just Two Friends, which still has the same ring as Three Friends. So arguably, we're still in the same situation.
And the way things seem to be going, it could be Two Friends. It could be Two Friends. But
Two friends and an IT man? Could you call it that?
Yeah. Two friends and an IT man sounds like a porn video, doesn't it? It sounds like Yeah, so these two have obviously known each other for a long, long time, as you'll see throughout the duration of the podcast. But yeah, I've known Dan for probably about 5 years.
About 5 years, yeah.
And I've known Jono through proxy of Dan, but also work for about the same amount of time.
Yeah.
I've worked with both of you individually in different offices.
Who's better? Let that get into that now, probably.
To work with, probably Tom Philbrick. For those that don't know Tom
Does he get a
Philbrick,
royalty?
which is everyone.
I don't know. He
yeah.
might need his consent. I don't know.
Oh, so he consent to anything. But yeah,
That's why he likes it so much.
he basically beat Jono to being my manager. But that's fine. But yeah, so that's why this is 2.5 Friends, because these guys have a irreplaceable bond, and I've been trying to break it and infiltrate it since the day that I met them. And
That is arguably what I would say is bear in mind it was my, which we'll come on to, my wedding day, which was the the second happiest day of my life. I know it's just sort of
Too soon.
We still talking
bit soon. Yeah, we were gonna have to get into it, but Ricky texted me every time I looked at my phone and he saw me and you talking. I saw a text message from Ricky saying, "I'll see all the best men are meeting up. Do you need them?" But I had about 8 of them. I've had about 8 of them. Like when he was just watching us all day wherever we were. It's like
no, love knows no bounds, and that is it. The love I have for you two, and that bond that I can't wait to be part of. Is irreplaceable. So that's why we're 2.5 Friends. It could also be because these two are obviously quite large and I'm much smaller. So
I just saw you take that hoodie off, mate.
Yeah.
That's why I've gone for the camouflage look.
You told me earlier it's like a utility thing, which I just assumed that there's... I get it. I understand what
got a
utility
little pocket in here.
Yeah. I just
which had mini chocolate eggs in it just a minute ago.
Which I thought there was loads of stuff in there, but you just taken off, there's nothing in it. That was just your bit, it was just filling your belly.
I'm like a kangaroo, but inside my pouch it's just fat. For the benefit of the tape, I have a hoodie on with a pouch pocket in it, which I use to keep things like smints. Or mini eggs.
I'm cutting that out. This is why you're the half, mate.
Oh, what? Because I care about the audio listeners.
You're talking about smints.
You had one.
Yeah, I did have one, yeah. Because you asked me 8 times, I was like, I'll have a mint.
We was in a Mini Cooper and he kept talking. Fucking something had to change. Fucking hell, it was honking. But yeah, okay, so that's why I'm here. Jono, do you want to... My name's Ricky, by the way. Just realised my name's Ricky.
Yeah. But I'll tell you the best thing, no one cares. So it doesn't matter.
No.
They will.
Just like me and Dan, they will forget you very, very quickly.
That's a really good comeback.
Yeah, we'll keep you around because we need the technical stuff. We don't
bounce off.
We don't know. I mean, I watched you for 15 minutes try and tilt a camera into the correct angle, but it's there now, and your degree has been used professionally.
Yeah,
we won't get into that, but yeah, it's a gimmick. I can't work a gimmick.
No, actually, I think we should go into that. So during the setup of this podcast today, me and Dan arrived a bit earlier than Stuart because he's.
But it's also not Stuart, it's Johnny. Second of all, not a bit early. You turn up at my house at 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah.
Sorry. Best friends. Sorry, Steve.
7:15, I'm just filming.
Yeah.
Let's go over there.
So Dan spent 15 minutes.
Can I come over early, please? Well, I can't say no, you put me on the spot. You phoned on a text, I could have ignored it. You know what I mean? But
he phoned you from your drive.
It was rather quick.
It was speedy.
I'll be right there.
But Dan was trying to set up a camera, and he was trying to get it in he was trying to get it in landscape. He had it in portrait, didn't know how to change it, and he just had to twist the phone. So
I told you shouldn't tell the story.
Yeah.
Made your bed naked, laid it.
I'll be honest.
Enjoy that silence.
I would love to say that Ricky's banter improves, but that's peaked. That is absolutely
what you will
peaked.
get from Ricky is every now and again you'll get a little gem.
Yeah, not very often.
So like maybe once every 4 or 5 episodes he'll say something you think that is brilliant. Well done.
Like the texting at the wedding. That was the first one though.
Yeah, but that was
years.
that was me telling it. Like he probably thought I did that.
100%. And didn't know it wasn't meant to be funny. It was just needy.
Yeah, it was just needy. It wasn't trying to be funny.
Well, at least we know that they will like my sense of humour because I've been writing your videos for years.
And also, did you get I'm surprised you got a signal the way back in the hall where you were sat. Was it all right back there? Did you see your messages?
This is terrible. Was that a joke?
It's not his best joke, but
yeah, we're talking about you. We're not talking about. I'm sat here in silence, mate. You're the one fucking leading. Yeah, I had perfect signal, thank you.
Right.
So this is Jono, leading on. Jono, how do you know Dan?
I've known Dan for about 15 years. Came to work with me in Deal, which was interesting.
Which
to
there's a
start
bit
with.
more. There's a bit more detail in that if you've watched Jono's Best Man speech.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in that we both went for the same job, and I got it. So,
Which stop rubbing that in. But
well, I was the best man that day, and 12 years later, I was the best man again.
Brilliant.
For what it's worth, so.
Brilliant. 2 really good days in the last 12 years.
That's it.
Cheers.
Both of them for the
But you have been there for both of them, though. So that's the positive out of that. But yeah,
Yeah.
we sort of hit it off straight away, didn't we? And we've been mates ever since.
I think same sense of humour, and
just we became inseparable, and I don't think there's anything that's ever going to come between the two of us. Ever. I don't think there's anything anyone that could come between us.
No one springs to mind
it's
either.
unbreakable. So
I don't think anyone would want to, actually, now that I thought about it.
Well, I'm going to think of one person that definitely would.
But just thinking about it, so 15 years is a bloody long time, and if I was there at the start, it would be weird. I was 15. So that would be weird. If I was there at the start, just thinking about it,
would be weird.
That would have been weird. If I was part of just you fully grown adults and like a 15-year-old boy just coming out with crap banter every now and then.
Hanging around getting us in trouble probably, because it's like, why are you hanging around with a 15-year-old? He just turns up.
What was she like? What was she like at 15?
Sexy.
I don't think so. I'll see pictures of him.
15 was arguably my peak. That was when I was fittest. I played bass in an indie band. I was living my life, and then everything went just fucking downhill.
There's a banjo there. So if you can play,
that's weird that there's a banjo in this.
And you played bass
that you brought along and took out of a case.
Well, listen, I'd love to play it for all of the millions of people that watch this, but
I can't.
No, not can't.
Say the word. No, say the word. No, can't.
You can't.
Say the words.
I won't, because we have.
Because you can't.
No. Because we have several episodes, and guys, we don't want to peak too early.
So what's going to happen is immediately after this episode, you're going to go and get lessons. So when you come back in 4 episodes time, I'm
going to twinkle little star. Yeah, twinkle little star is about to fucking pop off. That is going to be.
My daughter complains when they talk about better than you. It's a version we have. You won't.
Does she at least know what it's called?
Twinkle down.
Twinkle. He's doing his own remix on it now.
that is it. Hopefully, as time goes on, we'll be speaking about different anecdotes, and people kind of will learn more about us.
Yeah, because ultimately, what I think, what especially me and Steve want, is for people naturally to just dislike you over a period of time.
Yeah.
Rather than for us to don't take our word for it, just. See, give yourself 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah, no. I think it's definitely.
I don't want to force anyone's opinion.
No, but I think that's definitely it. Like, my plan of action with all of this is obviously to garden kind of followers from this whole thing, so that I'll probably do like a video. It'll be like Dan Lawrence comedy exposed, and it will be like, I was so poorly treated. We was in this really cold, dingy garage that he had me come over and clear.
You didn't do anything irritating.
What's that?
You didn't do anything, mate.
I've got message evidence of Dan.
My phone. The phone just flips upside down.
It has. Oh, is there a ghost, or have we run out of battery?
We've run out of battery already. That's. What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
That's not ideal.
Fucking fix it, I guess. We pause.
Oh my goodness! Right.
Do we have to like protect?
Shut up. Oh yeah, that was it. We was talking about me doing my exposé video.
I just say off camera. Off camera, you just said, "I hope people message you and say you're really mean to Ricky."
Have we started?
Yeah. So next week the banjo will be replaced by the world's smallest violin.
Definitely. No. I think it provides a good dynamic for us as 3 people. Like, I fully appreciate that I am not up to the power of.
Skinny.
Intelligent.
You can talk.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think as a group of 3 friends, we have a really, really good dynamic, and hopefully that comes across quite well in podcast format. Like I said, we've been wanting to do this for ages, and it came quite organically. It wasn't because of everything that's been happening with you.
No, it's been fast tracked, but it's certainly something we've been wanting to do as a free.
Definitely.
I nearly said threesome, and I thought, that sounds weird then. It's not a free. It is a threesome, but not a threesome.
That's episode 3.
Depends. What you call it, threesome?
Yeah.
That's really original.
Episode threesome.
We should leave you as our creative director.
I think threesome works because
someone's got to.
Just like this, it's enjoyable. I think this is it.
Yeah.
I think for me, if I can. Yeah, I think for me, it's I've not found laughter in anything recently. Which
you're not coming to him for that, are you? Because
no, that's why I made direct eye contact, so you've not made me laugh.
Tough crowd.
No, in all fairness, it's I think it's just been obviously for me, a really the worst time of my life. Like we're probably gonna have to get into it a little bit, aren't we? In terms of obviously I posted the video, and this could take me 4 weeks to edit. I don't know because I've never edited a podcast together. So, but in terms of posting a video recently on Facebook where I don't know if you saw it, but I was crying. So, and 1.5 million people have seen that now in just over 24 hours. So
yeah, but you've always taken those, like when you've done pranks before, you've always cried. This isn't.
Where's the joke?
I don't know. There we go. Point
What's the
proved.
joke?
Ricky's not funny. Welcome to Two Friends.
You didn't even last an episode as a whole.
No, I was trying to. Edit that out.
What was the point you're trying to make?
Trying to make that a lot of people are saying that is a prank, and that this conversation will kind of add some.
It's too deep of a joke. It's too complicated as a joke.
Yeah,
which
no,
we're a teacher about jokes.
I'll workshop that. I'll workshop it.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother. I'd just shelf it. But, but yeah, I think it was and we should probably talk. There's a lot of comments, and there's been a lot of like, I don't know what the right word is. Difficult. I've got to choose my words.
Opinions, conversations.
Correctly, yeah. There's a lot of opinions, and a lot of people are kind of like having opinions on why I've posted it, and there's a lot of comments that just say, "Why crying on the internet, man up?" But it's like there's a couple of points that I want to make, because as much as me posting that video was a form of therapy, I think for me. Because actually, I made the video not with the intention of
it seeing the light of day.
I'm
It was
show
for
this,
you.
and even watching it back, and that was filmed very very raw. It was basically straight after, and I decided I'm going to keep a video diary just to see like how I am. I did that, and I started writing in a journal 2 things I've never done in my life, and they helped because I could get my words out. I could talk without an opinion, without someone looking back at me and me like, I know it sounds silly, but even like making eye contact with someone while you're talking, and then while you're talking and trying to say something, it's like, what are they thinking? Should I be saying this? Should I like, so actually just to talk to a camera, that's not judging, it's just me looking back at myself.
Yeah, and I think with both journaling and with the video, like inherently, me and Jono, when you call us and talk to us about these things, whether or not we tell you our opinion, we're going to have one.
Yeah.
Whereas with those forms, like the camera isn't talking back to you, and you can just unload. Yeah,
exactly. And so I've kept a video diary and obviously posted the first one, and it's there's always going to be some backlash and there's going to be some negative, but I'm used to that in social media. You post something in social media and it might be a prank on Lucy, and someone will have an opinion, and someone will be like, "That's out of order. You can't do that." And I think we'll probably spend a bit of time getting into social media and the behind the scenes stuff as the weeks go on. But I think I decided to post it because I think there's going to be other people going through what I'm going through. And and this isn't, and I'm not trying to come across as a completely like selfless person putting myself out there. Like it did, and I know we joked about it, but it did take courage for me to do that, and even on the night that I was posting it, I delayed it, and then I delayed it again, and then I delayed it again, because actually me and Lucy had just had a really nice day. Like we're still a family, and
you're still
like, she's still the mother of my child. Like I'm gonna love that girl for the rest of my life,
and you're protecting Harper as well. Like you want her to be as undistracted by this as possible.
100%.
So you guys are taking steps. So that's 100%. Why you
I think also when you post something like that as well, yes, you may have tens of thousands of followers who you don't know, but when you put stuff on social media, there is still 25, 30, 40, 50 people that are close friends and family that are going to see you in that rawness and that emotional side of you that you maybe don't want everybody to want everybody to see that, but it was an outlet to let people know exactly what's going on and where your head's at, or where your head was at the time.
But as much as, and even that, like as much as it being a form of therapy for me to get it and record it and not have judgment, And then also the realisation, or not the realisation, but thinking, do you know what, yeah, other people might be going through this same thing, and life sometimes is difficult, and I'm in a position where I can post that on social media and then let other people see, do you know what, they're not on their own, like they're not on their own. And when I say like about the selfless side of things, like I also post it for the support for myself, like, but, and I know there's going to be good and bad, of course, but the amount of positive messages I've had from people saying, I've been there, I was there this time last year,
100%.
or my partner left me, and we were married for 10 years. Like I've had so many messages from people, and it's nice for me to, like, I know I've got support from my like close friends and my family, but it's nice to know. It's not nice to know. That's really is the wrong way to put it, because it's not nice. It's not a nice situation to be in, to have to kind of want that support and that support network. Like, I wish I wasn't in this situation.
But you know it's there.
But I know that now I've put myself out there, and that's probably the most vulnerable I've ever been. And people have been there and they've said, we're here if you need to. Like, strangers have messaged me saying, if you just want to phone someone, phone me. Like, sometimes it's easier to talk to a stranger. Phone me, talk to me, like, just do not be on your
I think that's the thing as well, like, because everyone will give you their opinion, and we will sit here, and me and Ricky will sit here, and you know, I've gone through something similar myself, although at a further advanced stage than you. But we will sit here and we'll say to you, you will feel better in 6 weeks, 2 months, 4 months, whatever that might be. But there's probably an element of you that thinks, you're bound to say that. You're my best friend. You're of course you're going to say that. You're not going to tell me that, mate. It gets darker and darker and darker. However, the fact that people who have no relevance to you other than the fact that they watch you do skits on prank videos on social media have taken the time to go, no, Dan, it will get better.
Yeah.
It will get better. And I think that's probably, I would say, I would imagine that that's probably the best thing that's come out of this. The fact that you can sit there and go, do you know what? I know that although what I'm feeling right now is horrible, I know that Mr. Smith, Mr. Brown, that they have told me that it will get easier, and I will be in a better place at some point in time. Whenever you arrive at that point in time, nobody knows, but it will happen. It will happen.
And you'll be that person in the future that says, I've been through something similar to this, and I managed to get through it. And that's the thing. All those people at one point were exactly where you are now, and now they're in a position to say it gets better, and that will be you in the future.
And also, when your partner inevitably ends it with you, when she realises what you're about.
Okay.
I'm about. We can support you
once she finds out.
We'll be there for you. Yeah. So we'll have that experience to help you.
It's a strange joke to make, Jono, considering both of your relationships ended this year, and I'm the only one holding down the fort. But yeah,
I mean, it's strange. That's the strangest thing.
That is the strangest thing.
Not wrong. Vicky can't break up with me because she won't find anyone whose name rhymes as well as Ricky and Vicky.
Which will, another Ricky.
Yeah.
And I know 4.
Yeah.
And you're the least funny out of all them, so.
I know 2 Dickies, so.
Vicky and Vicky. I know Mickey as well.
Yeah.
Vicky.
To be fair, there's quite a lot of names that rhyme with Vicky, isn't there?
Also, she could just find another Vicky and Vicky.
Yeah.
Oh, she could, completely go,
Double V.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so back to your failed relationship.
So it's difficult because every single person gives a version of the same advice.
Yeah.
And when you're in the position, and I feel like I'm the most selfish person on the planet because I've been through a period in the last 2 months where all I care about is my own, like I've gone through it, and I have a realisation after, like I phoned Jono the other day and was like I realised the last 5 or 6 times we spoke, I haven't even asked how you are. I'm like, how are you? Like, it's just all been about me because of what I'm going through. The beauty, I think you're going to say the same thing, the beauty of this dynamic that we have as a three is I knew that Jono would be there for you, and that you would use him as your shoulder. So I messaged Jono and I was saying, how's Dan? Because at the time when this first happened, as much as it kills me inside, you didn't come to me and tell me straight away, and you was talking to Jono, and Jono didn't say what had happened but said Dan's going through some stuff at the moment.
and then I was calling Jono and saying, "How are you?"
Yeah.
Because I knew, like I'm not saying that I'm not agreeing with you that you was being selfish, but for you, like both of your situations are very, very equal. But Jono's career was unaffected. Your entire existence had changed. So that was like. And I knew that I was Jono's outlet a little bit, and that's how this dynamic works, and that's what it does work.
We joke, we do joke about it, and with regard to the dynamics of the friendship, but literally Ricky was on the phone to basically say, "You look after Dan, I'll look after you."
Yeah,
that's how it works. That's absolutely fine. Let's deal with this, and that's exactly how it has worked. It has worked perfectly, to be fair.
But it just means I know it's weird to say within a friendship group that there are needs, but there definitely are needs within a friendship group. But that way we knew that everyone's needs were met. Like everyone had support.
Definitely.
And it's like taking
yours, like who like listening there. That just sounds like my needs are taken care of. Steve's needs are taken care of, but actually
Pornhub.
Well,
Pornhub took care of my needs.
Yeah.
So you and Vicky are struggling.
No, we're not.
No, she just can't. Look at him. She just can't keep up with him.
That's it.
Boy's he's ravenous.
Fucking
ravenous.
I've seen Instagram recently.
I am a rabbit.
But posted her bum on Instagram.
But ultimately, I do know that. It might have been a DM. I might have sent it. I sent it to loads of people. But no, like I think I know that when the time comes that I eventually do need support, be it could be, I hope it's not anything to do with me and Vicky, but
I'm sure you've got loads of other friends though.
No. But let's take it this way. Okay, I don't like to talk about this often, as you guys know, but earlier on last year, in February, my dad passed away. You were my support. Yeah. And so it's not a case of everyone needs to be supported at the time. You assess the situation, see who needed that support, and then you offer it to them.
Yeah.
So, and the dynamic, like my dynamic, like you guys, you speak to him, you speak to me, we discussed that, but like I don't have that. I have both of you and I hold you both in equal esteem, so that's why I'd messaged both of you. We went out for walks and we all make jokes at each other's expense, and that's what got me through what was happening with my dad. So there's no question of it was everyone was being supported apart from Ricky, because I didn't need support. I was there. It's like when you're going through something like this
at that time, you didn't need support at this.
Exactly.
I mean, we still. How are you? You good? Everything okay? Because you just started a new job, and you'd had to go away from home for a week for training and stuff like that. So there was elements where you were lonely or felt on your own, and we caught up. We spoke 2 or 3 times when you was away about how you were struggling with the diet side when you went away, having been brilliant this year and lost a huge amount of weight, but being away and stuff affected you. So we had conversations and had support in different ways. So, but that's what makes it for us.
Yeah. And sorry to bring it back to the video, but kind of going around in a circle. So there's obviously, you said about being on social media, everyone's going to have an opinion, and there's good and there's bad ones. One set of opinions that I did want to discuss, because I think it's valid for people to have commented it, but I also think that they need to get your perspective, and as a friend, like our perspective on this. So the majority of the comments are support, right? There's a small section that are saying that this should have been dealt with behind closed doors. Now, obviously, this is your life, so I really do want to understand your perspective on it. But from an outsider looking in, you're right that this is something that usually 9 times out of 10 would be dealt with behind closed doors. But considering your career and how active you and Lucy were on social media, this is something that had to be told one way or another. And people might not agree with your medium of doing it, but you was always going to have to tell the story, because of you hadn't been posting videos of you together, like newer content, for a little while, so people were starting to cotton on.
Well, there's been a lot of comments that are about well, if this was in November, then what about all the videos in December? And ultimately, like a lot of the content, when we used to make content, we used to make a lot of content. We had to make 2 videos to 2 brand new videos every single week. So actually, sometimes we were making 6-7 new videos every single week. So and because I'm always trying to think ahead and always trying to think, I need that safety net. I can't just think, and a lot of creators are very much think of an idea, film the idea, edit the idea, post the idea, and then they'll move on, and then they'll do another one. Whereas I'm very much like, right, I just need to make sure I've like
think of an
I can
idea.
feed my family for the next 2 months. I just need to make it's that protective instinct, I guess. So I'll just always try and get as much done. So yeah, there's been some new content that has gone out that was filmed before. Obviously since there hasn't been any new content that's been filmed, but we had enough to carry us through to Christmas. And then over Christmas I posted some of last year's Christmas videos, and we've started getting some messages that are like, are you okay? I've stopped posting on my Instagram for probably 4 weeks. I think I could there's so many ways I could have told people, but I think I had to tell people one way or another. I had to tell people, and
I completely get that, because if in my situation, I've got half a dozen people that I needed to tell.
Yeah.
There's still some people right now that, as we're sat here filming this, and mine's been going on for 2-3 months as well, but there's still people that I haven't told, or that don't know necessarily because they don't need to know. But when you're sat there and you're getting DMs and private messages every single day, the quickest way to let people know was to post the video. It's
and the video diary, like the first post, I think the first one, the video that I made, that, like I say, it wasn't made for social media, but it sort of just fit perfectly because it did just tell everyone how I was feeling in that moment. But also there are other ways I could have done it, and there's probably other ways I should have done it. Lucy's had a lot of backlash from that post, which that does break my heart, because it's not a blame game. It's never been about you did something wrong or I did something wrong. Like, the video was about me being completely fucking heartbroken because my wife left me. Like, it's not about Lucy's left me, so you all go and message her and tell her like how horrible. Like, I love that girl, and I never want to see her upset. I never want to see her in any other way than like, and especially now, it's like I'm not the person she's going to come to for comfort, because in her opinion you've driven people to do that. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, because I'm the cause of it. I've posted that video, so I'm the cause of it. But even before that, she's left me because she's not in love with me, so I'm not going to be the person she's going to go to say, Dan, I need a hug, like I'm having a really sad day. And that, like, we've been inseparable for 5 years, and like that alone is just hard. That's hard to even say, because it's fucking, I want to be the one that's there.
I think there. But to a degree, although getting the message out was a necessity, people did need to know. It was something that people needed to be aware of. On a smaller scale, anybody who's been through a breakup or something difficult has taken to social media to basically say, having a crap day, or me and Dave are falling out again, or and how many times do you see up A&E again, and then people
DM me, babe.
People put stuff out there, and people do act emotionally, and it's not a normal situation, and yours is only heightened because of what you do every single day, and the fact that you have got 500,000 people that see those videos every single day. If I posted something like that, my 50 family members that follow me would see it. But it's heightened. But everybody does stuff. So when you say you could and should have done something differently, you can only feel what you feel, right? And you deal with the situation as you see fit to try and best protect yourself and your family. That's it.
Yeah, and I think, and ultimately, look, social media is the way that I pay my bills.
Yeah.
It's the way I pay my bills. So it's got to a point where we've now not got any more content to post. So I can't keep posting content because I've got nothing to post. So then I can't pay the bills. Yeah. So, like, I've got a daughter to feed. Like, still, like, whatever happens, I've still got to pay the mortgage. I've still got to feed Harper. And as a side note from that, I mean, obviously, everyone commenting and saying should have done this, should have done that. You don't always think rationally. When I was like, I was in a dark place, and I'm still in a dark place. Like, I'm not over it. Like, I'm not like, oh, it's fine because it's been 6 weeks or whatever. It's dark. Like, I've been through like I've just been through a Christmas where it's the last Christmas where it's going to be anything close to
normality.
Family,
normality. It's going to be anything close to being a family, and that was it. And it was hard. It was hard to go for that. We're only a couple of weeks.
Yeah, 8th or 9th.
The thing is as well, like when, like going through this for me personally as well, like you'll have days where you don't feel like talking to people. You don't want to deal with people. And I'm lucky that I'm in an environment that I can work in an office. So if I don't want to talk, to somebody, I can go and work in the back office for a couple of hours. I can go and take myself upstairs, and I don't be around people. When the way that you pay your bills and the way that you earn your living is to be in front of people, pretty much 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it's difficult to do that. So then people will notice when you haven't. Your version of dipping out to the back office is you don't post anything new for 2 or 3 days.
I just hide away.
So you will try and do that, but all the eyes are on you, and people will notice that more.
You in your office job, you are the manager. In Dan's career and Dan and Lucy's career, you almost have like 500,000 managers, because if you don't post for a couple, I don't know how massive the following is, but that ballpark. Exactly. But like you have, if you take a day off, you get messages from people, are you alright, or where are you? Exactly. Whereas no one's like, not that you're hated, but no one's checking up on you after a day, because you have the
But that's where that pressure grows. And that's why it's taken this time to, I mean, I wasn't in a position where I could have taken. I wasn't in a position to post that on that day anyway.
Yeah.
Like, and I've never made that video to post it. So it was never about, right, I'll keep this and I'll post. Like, it was just done. I just made it and it was there. And then, and even watching it back a couple of days ago before I posted it, I was in tears watching it, because I can see, like, I know that's me on the other end of that camera, and I can see I'm just completely broken. But
the first time, sorry to interrupt, the first time I watched that video was with Jono in his car. I got to about 30 seconds, and I went, I can't watch a mate like that. Like, I can't watch it.
And I've had three or four different friends and family that, I mean, one of my mates messaged me yesterday to say that he got halfway through it and then picked up the phone to me to say, is he okay? Because I can't bring myself to watch the rest of that the rest of that video. So as much as people will comment that don't know you, there are people that do know you and know how hard a watch that was.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will think, because it is so raw, a lot of people will think, well, it's almost too raw, it's not very professional. We had that conversation where I said maybe just do like a blanket statement on Instagram, but this is all a journey. This podcast is a journey and it's a lesson. Every episode of this is going to get better, and we'll come on to that later on in the podcast, but that was a lesson, and that was a lesson learned from you. So you posted that, maybe you might think differently now, but that's the choice that you made on that time based on...
I have to stand by that choice, and but also, like, you have to remember, like in that situation, in that moment where I've recorded that, like I've lost my wife. I do think, and I know that I say like I'm going to lose my little girl, which, like,
I think when you say that, you mean
the way of life as it is.
You mean lose the everyday way of life rather than lose her. She's not taking her away from you.
Lucy would never take her away from me. That's not, and that's absolutely not what I mean. But like the best way to describe it is, like, I don't want even a second without that little girl.
100%.
Like, I don't want to be away from her for 1 second. So with us separating, I'm going to be without her. So I am losing my little girl. So I'm losing her in the sense of, I'm not going to be able to do the school drop off. I'm not going to be there every single day. I might have her. However, that's all got, whatever, that's got to be discussed. But so I've lost my wife, the girl that I love more than anything in the entire world, and the girl that I thought I was going to spend my life with, the girl that I've just married 7 weeks ago. Lost my little girl because I've lost time with my little girl. I've lost my job. I've lost my source of income, and because it isn't, and Jono, you touched on it, it's like, and I know we've spoken about this before, it's not an office job where I could phone, if you were my manager still, I could be like, Jono, this has happened, I just need a couple of weeks. You'd be like, take a couple of weeks, that's fine. And then come back to it, and then you've got a couple of weeks to self-wallow, and then you've got to come back to it. You have to then get on with it. But I've had to come on, I've had to lose all of those things and try and reinvent myself.
You've got to lose all of them. You've got to navigate the difficulty of separating from Lucy. You've got to navigate the feeling of I'm not going to get to wake up with my daughter every day, but then also go, but you know what? Actually, I've got to work out how I'm going to survive financially and pay for everything.
Yeah.
Because if that goes astray, the other two things will go astray, because there'll be less time, because you won't be able to get bits for Harper or pay for Harper, or you can't afford to stay in the house because you have to sell that. So there's lots of things. It's not just that when a break up you lose your partner, which is awful. If there's children involved, you lose that. But you had it three ways. You had wife, daughter, and potentially your career and source of income.
Everything.
Yeah.
Also at a time when it was 7 weeks after I got married.
Yeah.
Like at the worst, it just came from nowhere.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll get more into it, and there'll be, this isn't there's no hate towards Lucy. I don't want her to receive any negative comments, and I'll always defend her to the hill.
But she also shouldn't. Sorry to interrupt, but like as much as people out there have followed Dan and Lucy for a long time, and that they may feel like they're part of your relationship because they've viewed it, they also nobody knows what's happened fully behind closed doors. So anyone that's messaging Lucy and saying, "Oh, well, why did you do it 7 weeks after the wedding, or so close?" Even me, one of Dan's really good friends, I don't know the whole picture.
No.
Yeah. That's the thing. So it's just wait and see. It's not even. I was going to come on to this in terms of the future of content for you.
Yeah.
And it might not be the last time that people see Lucy on your, because you're going to co-parent.
We're going to co-parent, so who knows? And at the moment, I can't bring myself to even trying to be thinking of what I can do and how am I going to try and be funny and not necessarily entertaining. People might not even find me funny. I get that, but
probably not.
You talk to Ricky.
Yeah,
he's probably got a wealth of experience.
How
on
do you
that.
cope with a life of not being funny?
I'll tell you how you cope with it. You hang around two people that are funny, and then hopefully some of that rubs off, and then
I'd love to rub off on both of you. To be fair, I would. Wait, no, that's episode 3.
Threesome. Left you hanging.
You did. But yeah, no, I can. Yeah, I think throughout the series of this podcast, we're probably going to speak about that as relationships will come up anyway.
Relationships will come up,
and it's going to happen. But yeah, I think the head taglines of that whole thing is that you are on a journey. We don't know how that journey is good. We don't know what that means moving on, but it's not a case of you're just going to go dark and no one's going to hear from you. There is going to be a form of Dan Lawrence comedy coming out in terms of this podcast is going to be a stable thing that we're all very committed to. And the other thing is, as a viewer, you guys don't know what's happening behind closed doors, so just respect privacy. If you were in a relationship and it broke up, you wouldn't want me commenting on it.
100%.
So
but equally, but to say that I've opened myself up to that.
Oh, 100%.
But I've opened myself up to it, but I haven't opened Lucy up to it. So we've both put ourselves out there in the world of social media and in the I don't know what you say, the public eye. Would you say the public eye? Yeah. But she hasn't asked for that, and as much as I'm struggling, I'm sure she's struggling as well, and she needs love and she needs support, and she's obviously got a good support network around her as well. But it's just, I don't know. We just have to see.
Just love everyone. So let's move on to probably a chirpier topic. Just thinking about how I want to go into
it's a cool moment.
You should have thought about it if we did clap then.
I don't have to.
What do you mean? You do have to because you're sat there thinking.
I'm just trying to think.
Alright.
Otherwise, this becomes really awful footage.
Yeah, which is just going to get cut. You don't fucking care. You don't do it.
What?
No, but I have to, and I don't know how to edit it.
I told you. I'm here for eye
you know how to do a cut.
Oh yeah, to do a cut. Yeah, big time.
Alright. Let your friend it.
Ruined what? You've been silent for over 2 minutes. This is horrendous. This is
not a podcast. This is nothing.
No.
This
might as well be a photo.
It's true. Right, so I mentioned it a little bit earlier on.
You've ever said sorry,
and you guys missed it. So maybe Johnny will say another joke. Funny joke.
Oh, no, he definitely will. Don't worry about that.
Sorry, my best friend's the editor, so it'll be in there. Don't worry about that.
Do not worry about that.
Top of the list.
So I mentioned it a little bit earlier in terms of the future of kind of Dan Lawrence comedy and what's moving forward, and a lot of you might be thinking at this point, like, what is happening with this podcast? Is it a thing that's happening often? And the answer is,
we don't know. You haven't prepped me on what to answer.
Yes, I think it's probably yes.
Yes. Right, now, as you may notice, we have this shabby chic. Well, putting it nicely, we have this.
Garage, mate, so
we have this shabby chic garage. That's it. That's it.
Off.
Oh, I'm getting divorced.
I got an idea. We can get him to cry again, and then we can get Nick Knowles to come in and kit it out for us on DIY SOS.
I can probably use some of that trauma for free. A bit of plasterboard.
We might even get a hot tub.
Do you guys remember there was a show back when I was a kid where the kids got to design the house, and it would be like, they'd be like, oh, my dad never plays football with me, so they would design an armchair that was on a rail and would take it out to the garden and put the chair in front of the goal, so the father was forced to play goal.
That's not a real thing.
Oh my god, it's a real thing. I need to research it and I will send it.
Two things. Firstly, you were probably drunk, and secondly, I don't know if doing that by the video he's very wise, I've got to be honest.
Well, luckily this is camouflage.
Okay.
But yeah, so with the garage.
It's not hiding your belly.
Wow, you're lucky this table's hiding your legs. Right, so yeah, you may notice that obviously things need painting. The audio quality might not be the best.
That's down to the sound engineer, isn't it?
Yeah,
Which one of us was the sound? Ricky, it was Ricky.
I was taking it, but also this room's shit. So
what part of it shit?
Which one of us didn't invest their money wisely?
To be fair, cutting some slack, 2 days ago, it was a garage.
It was a garage.
It was a garage.
It was a garage in the garden in a pile.
But things are
because
gonna...
you took them out of the garage. No one's thrown them out of the window.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, Lucy hates me, but she's let me.
She's still respectful of things.
Yeah, sure. I've got my bedroom in the back of the house.
Yeah,
above here actually.
Yeah, above here. It's a cold room actually. It's above a garage.
Right.
So
I would have fly tipped it.
pretty cold.
But we like the equipment, the backdrop, and everything is going to get better. But it does present us with a unique opportunity where you, the viewers, can help us
or listeners. Don't leave out the podcast.
No, you're right. You're right. Oh, yeah. No, big. Yeah, that's fine. We'll get used to this. we'll get used to this. But yeah, so if you guys want to comment anything that you think that we could do to improve, or I knew as soon as I said it that was going to be said.
Mate,
I just want someone to comment. I want everyone to comment. Remove Ricky. Make it 2 friends.
That's it.
Just 2 friends.
But yeah, if you want us to put something in the backdrop,
should we talk about the backdrop a little bit?
Why not? Yeah,
let's talk about it, because this is just a wardrobe that I've taken the doors off of.
Brilliant. I don't know if that was the bit that needed.
I
think anyone could look at that and know that was a wardrobe with no doors.
Yeah, but that pole at the top, what was that for?
Originally, hanging clothes on. Right? You wouldn't know it now. This is a banjo that Ricky bought. I don't know why he bought that.
Because he can play. He used to play bass in an indie band. I don't know. Did you mention that?
Yeah, he might have played bass. But why's he bought a banjo then?
Because my dad used to play banjo, so I bought it in his honour. I was like, yeah, that's a great one.
Did he play that one?
What else have we got?
Did he play that one?
Possibly. It was dusty.
No, to be fair, mine. My dad left me a banjo in his will. Right? No, this is real. My dad left me a banjo in his will, and
just I don't know the punchline. I'm gonna laugh.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So my dad left me a banjo in his will,
and I respect you chose not to play.
No. This isn't it. This isn't it. His wife gave it away to just a random guy that lived in their block of flats. And then I went to collect it, and she went,
gave it to Martin.
Yeah, I gave it to the guy, Gary, I think his name was. He lives downstairs. So obviously I was fucking fuming, rightfully so. Went downstairs. No, you're right. Knocked on Gary's door. Oh, Gary, can I have my dad's banjo? He said no. What can you say?
So what did you do? Buy another banjo? Is that not even your dad's banjo?
That's not his dad's banjo.
That's a brand new banjo. I bought that. No, because I thought, right, what I'm going to do. No. I thought what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that, and I'm going to learn to play it in his honour. It's the closest thing I could get. Because Gary. Well, no, I've had a rough year. Okay, I've had a rough year. Probably not as rough as you. But yeah, so that was why I got it, and now it's part of our backdrop.
Amazing.
That's it. But yeah, fuck Gary.
When you bought
Like
that,
imagine like,
yeah,
my
you
dad's
would.
just died. My dad's just died. I know his crazy wife has given this to you, but he did leave it to me in his will.
really
Can
hope
I
she
have
watches
it?
this.
Isn't there a thing though? If it's been left to you, she can't give it. Can't you? Is there not a court order? I don't know much about politics.
I didn't really fancy taking Gary to
Was he
court
over a
no,
banjo?
What a
but
great story though.
I'll tell you what you could have done.
I took Gary to court over my dead dad's banjo.
Hey mate, that's a Jeremy Kyle episode instantly. Literally.
but anyway, yeah. So that is why I have a banjo.
And the results of the lie detector are Gary sold the banjo.
I reckon Gary did sell the banjo.
Yeah,
He lived in a
definitely.
rough.
He sold the banjo.
Yeah.
He didn't care.
So
And to honour that memory, because he gave it away, you went out and you bought a new banjo and thought, you know what, I'm going to do nothing with that banjo. And in a year's time, when I'm feeling better, I'm going to put it on an old wardrobe as a backdrop of my new podcast. I called it your podcast, and that's a mistake. It won't happen again.
that won't happen. I called you Stuart earlier. Yeah, we'll have to get used to each other apparently. I will make you both a bet now.
I don't.
Well, here we
I
go.
By the end of this season, I will play a song.
No one. We haven't discussed how long a season's going to be.
Not long enough, because I tell you what, he ain't got one chord and he's had it a year. So
No, but I can play the
What's the bet?
ukulele.
What do we get out
That's
of
the
it?
most emasculating sentence I've ever said. I can play a ukulele, guys. But I will.
So what happens when we get to the end of it and you can't play? What do we get out of
Yeah.
it?
What do we get out of it?
We get the banjo.
I will get my camera.
No. Okay. Right. This is what you've done. You've ruined the whole podcast.
100%.
Okay, we'll beep that out, and then they'll never know what body part it was. They also didn't need to know. Wait, if we beep out body part, then they won't know what it is.
Oh, and they'll definitely tune in just in case they get to see your body part.
Not find out what not part of your whatever it is that they're not going to see.
You're not
Because
body.
he's not obviously getting that out.
So
Anyway,
Dan, we have a banjo and a wardrobe. What else do we have
This is a
here?
picture of me and Joe Ashman.
Joe Ashman.
Yeah, big time. Big time. Do you know who Joe Ashman is?
Yeah, no, I met him at your wedding. Ooh.
Yeah, but I also know him from Netflix. Probably is my good friend from Netflix.
Oh, what show was he in?
I can tell
I
that.
forgot.
I can tell that.
What about horses?
No.
I can tell
Free
you.
Rein. I know it's Free Rein. Obviously, I know it's from Free Rein.
Can you imagine?
We have this little fun thing whenever me and Joe Ashman go out, which is quite frequent because we're really good friends. We know that Jono's daughter is a big fan of Free Rein and Joe Ashman in particular. And we always used to do a video. Normally when we're drunk, which is probably inappropriate to send a drunk video to a 9-year-old girl.
100%, yeah.
But we did it anyway.
In normal circumstances, don't do that.
Yeah, not in
Don't do
normal
that.
circumstances. That's advice. Don't do that.
And to be fair, he did another one at the. I don't know. I don't want to say the W word again, but at
the wedding. No, talk about
an
the
event
wedding.
in September,
Yeah.
he did another one with me in it, which
Because-
my daughter thought was incredible that
Yeah.
I was there with Joe. So
At least something good come out the wedding.
Yeah, the video he did.
Oh,
that was really good.
just so you know, I got a suit and some shoes and a watch.
Yeah, you did
So-
get all of that.
yeah.
You did get all of that.
I got a suit and shoes and credit card debt.
Did you?
So, and it was all worth it.
That's probably because you're buying people that don't
Yeah.
drink alcohol.
Yeah, it's taken me longer to pay off that suit and shoes than the marriage lasted.
Really?
We're still paying it off. Yeah. Don't measure it. We're over.
I know he's suit. I think he's trying to say he's still paying off his suit.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
no, I
mean,
am.
Yeah,
and I
not that much.
got,
And
and I
I
got
got
it cheap.
What did lilac?
No, it was fucking pink. Not much better.
Yeah, so yeah, why you've gone into
Definitely
my
make
shop.
yourself manly.
What I'm also going to do is
Yeah.
just because I don't think that it would have picked it up in all of its glory. There we go. And that photo was taken at Atlantis, the Palm in Dubai.
That was in Dubai. Me and Joe Ashman just living the celeb lifestyle in
Yeah.
Dubai.
Why has he got so many buttons undone and you don't?
Just was doing sexy dancing.
Okay, it doesn't explain the why he's got so many buttons.
I've got to be
undone
honest.
and you
Oh
don't.
no, yeah, it does because I'm fat.
I was going to say, by the looks of your shirt, it looks like, given, I reckon 30 seconds after that, a lot of them buttons were undone. and missing.
14 stone.
So
What's this picture?
that is me. This is a funny story actually.
Just for the tape, the audio listeners out there.
For the audio listeners,
This is a photo of Dan and Lucy, but it's not them. It's a photo of a groom and a bride with their faces sellotaped on it.
With my face on the green.
Was this
Lucy's
made
face on the
pre-wedding,
right.
presumably?
This was made pre-wedding. I actually made this myself. You wouldn't think of it.
so weird.
You wouldn't think of it, right? The reason I did this was for a video because I actually did a loopholes video, like a how to save money at your wedding, which Lucy didn't go for. But it was that you don't.
You're joking. She didn't take up that option.
Take up that, no. But weirdly, she did put that out at the wedding.
Yeah.
So did she love it or didn't she? Like, I don't know. Yeah. But that was a money-saving tip, that you do not need a photographer at a wedding. All you need is to go for a wedding catalogue, put your face on other people's.
Genius.
It is genius.
Absolute genius.
Yeah.
But you had 2 photographers at your wedding.
I did have 2 photographers
I was
at my
going to
wedding,
say,
and a videographer,
Yeah.
If you want to be pernickety over it.
I just
which, in hindsight, wish I hadn't have bothered now.
Got to watch though.
And he left out loads of cameras
way.
for other people to take pictures as well, didn't
We
you?
did do that.
So,
listen, and what I will say is, I don't know,
it's only the first 2 rows.
Talking about the wedding, and you know, it is a hard subject for me to talk about.
Let's not talk about that. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
But what I do want to say, because I don't want to get there, but what I do want to say,
a big party in September. We could call it that.
It was an amazing party, and what I would say is, and I was so grateful to the people that did come. It was without a doubt, regardless of what's happened since then, it was the second best day of my life. It was the second best day of my life.
Meet me. That's the first one, isn't it?
Definitely.
That's what I thought.
My probably happiest day of my life was the day Harper was born. I'm presuming that was your number 1.
That was obviously my number 1. It sort of goes without saying.
Obviously,
does it?
Okay.
But yeah,
we didn't need the obvious.
You know, having Harper. Harper was the best day of my life.
Same.
Second best day of my life was the wedding, but the wedding was the wedding was incredible.
It was lovely.
We had some great guests there.
What was the third?
Speeches were amazing.
Third day.
I haven't had one yet. They've been all
That's it. Brilliant.
Not even the store cupboard.
What?
Not even the store cupboard.
I'm not.
Oh, okay. That's another podcast.
That's another podcast. That's
just watch the best man speech video for that one, and then
you'll get yeah.
Anyway, so looping back around. So that's what that is. Is there anything else of note? Oh, also the other elephant in the room, we discussed one earlier, is that Steve is blowing cold air out of his mouth. And you might be able to see that on some of the cameras.
Yeah, because it's pretty cold in here.
Yeah, it's fucking freezing. We do have heaters, but the heaters make noise, which ruins the audio. And
our sound guy kicked off.
Yeah, the sound guy bastard. But this is a labour.
Go after this one.
This is a labour of love. So we're willing to freeze our nuts
week on week. So hopefully every week this will improve. This is our space now. So hopefully this will improve each week. You know, we'll just see what happens.
This is the studio.
But one thing we didn't talk about actually is this, which is a phrase that me and Lucy would say to each other. We left this out.
Just quickly, I don't know how we left that till last.
Yeah, I don't know why that was. Like you can't notice it.
Is there anything else?
We went to the banjo and the 2 pictures first. Ignored that.
Yeah, we just chucked them up, but this has been wired in. I've hung it from here and it's lit up. Like, how did we forget it? This was.
You haven't wired that in. It's a neon line you've hung there.
Alright, it's plugged in, but just
with
let me have
string.
this much.
Just a little bit of rope.
Alright, I'm about to post it through the back of the wardrobe.
I'll tell you what you should have done. Fucking painted the back door.
What I should have done is
I'm just glad that's what you hung up with the rope.
Yeah, because you've got to be honest, we're touch and go for a while.
That's but I don't know. Yeah, okay, alright. Well,
so this is a phrase that you and Lucy used to say.
This is what we used to say to each other. I love you with all of my heart. And this is, and I did say that to her on the wedding, in my wedding speech. And this is a sign that we'd had made for the wedding.
Yeah.
But Lucy didn't want to bring it, but maybe that's because she didn't love me with all of her heart.
But you paid for it regardless.
She really kicked off. I was like, we need that, because a company sent it to us and said, we'll do one for you if you use it.
You could have rejigged it. Okay. I love you with all of my hate. You could have just lost the R and just shuffled it around.
Wow,
that's smart.
I think that's worse than my hanging joke.
No, that's horrific. You shouldn't joke about suicide.
And I don't think Lucy hates me. Like, I know she doesn't hate me. Like, ultimately, you know,
as long as you know that. But yeah, no, it's lovely. Another money-saving tip to buy this and then to never use it. Yeah, no, it's really.
Well, if anything, the company gave it to us, and
that's not a money-saving tip.
Promotion for using it at the wedding. We didn't use it at the wedding, but we did use it in some.
So is this contractually obligated? Is that why we have it here? He just hasn't told us. It's like, guys, I've got this sign. It doesn't really fit the theme of the podcast in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, because it's free, guys. On a podcast. I love you with all of my heart.
Yeah,
no, there's a thing. Like, it's just quite. Yeah, it's close. I wanted to use the sign just because.
We're probably the MD of neonlights.com is on the phone. Going, are you ever going to use that sign, mate? Literally, because if not, you're paying for it.
Yeah. Lucy thinks she's only bad.
But this might change. We might get a new neon sign.
Yeah, or I might just draw a picture over heart, or we could just
I love Jono with all of my heart.
Probably
could
change it as well, but we'll just
probably.
We saw something, but we thought we could just get 2.5 friends in neon lights and have that hanging there. And it's quite as a fly there.
We have got a fly.
But yeah, I think that's.
Yeah, I think that is Pretty much
Episode
everything.
1, you've outstayed your welcome, if anything, I'd say.
Who?
You.
Oh, I thought you meant. I thought that was like we're breaking the fourth wall. It's like you guys. See you later. But no, am I going?
Yeah. Can you hurry up because we're going to Netflix and
You
chill.
went down there like you're in a wheelchair. Like you're not in a wheelchair. Just be to me.
Yeah,
that you're
but
not
before
in a
you
wheelchair.
guys comment, like, oh, you're so mean to Ricky. I am not wheelchair bound.
Even if you weren't, you can still be mean to someone that's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Not because of that, but you
And
can
it
still be
doesn't
mean to
stop
someone.
you.
This was just treat everybody in life
No one
the
was
same.
mean to Stephen Hawking.
People were.
Well, not that
Did
many.
you
Especially
entertain
Epstein let him on the island.
Yeah.
So, if anything, he was too generous.
He got there on
Goodbye. We'll close out on that. Oh, what a blast! We hope.
No, okay, we're not doing it. The blast bit is not going to make it.
I hope you enjoyed the episode.
We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. It's not Saturday.
I hope you enjoyed this week's episode.
You do, or we do? Do we all hope that they did, or did just you hope?
We hope that you enjoyed this week's episode.
If you did enjoy it, please give it a like, a share, a follow, anything. Tell your nan.
Or your dad.
So, probably not you though, Ricky. Just because he's dead. But thanks for watching.